We're on Truth with Mark Naughton, and I'm here with Hirsh Singh, who is running for governor of New Jersey. How are you feeling today?
Feeling great. It's a beautiful day, 75 degrees. Couldn't ask for better.
Absolutely. So we're about to have a town hall where you're going to talk to the people and lay out your agenda. Is anything you want to say before we head in there?
I just hope we have enough people here, because the more they hear, we're fighting ignorance, not people. And if they hear our message, they get totally excited and they go out there and they spread the good word. I don't think there's a single thing I've ever done in my entire life where I'm closed to new information. I think that's what makes us human, because new information is how you become a better person.
Absolutely. We were just talking about it. It's crazy how now all of a sudden everybody's terrified to lay out their thoughts, their agenda, to put it online, they're going to get canceled, their jobs.
I mean, that's actually the whole reason for this campaign. It's an extension of the America First movement that happened last year. And what we saw was the cancel culture is really the far left. So it's really not Democrat versus Republican anymore. It really is America values against this far left-wing socialism, almost communism, which is this cancel culture. And so I'm pretty confident that once we get through this primary in 19 days, it's going to be, our base is going to be like from the far left liberal mind all the way to the conservative mind, and only like the leftists are going to be against us, because our message resonates with all people from all backgrounds, and they can't use that weapon of racism anymore. We saw Florida. Florida went fully Republican, and it went that way because of women and minorities that came out for President Trump in higher numbers than ever before. And so we know with the similar demographics and densities here in Jersey that it's very possible to dominate this race.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck, and I can't wait to get in there and hear what you have to say.
I appreciate it, man.
All right.
The Indian American community that has historically been Democrat. And why? Because they have lived in a bubble of propaganda where when they came to this country, they were taught Democrat means democracy and Republican means racist. Right? That's the problem, because there's no one on the Republican side able to go to them and say, do you really like paying higher taxes? Do you really like being divided into groups? Do you really want to be known as an Indian American? Or do you want to just be an American? Right? See, that's the problem here. We, on our money, it says e pluribus unum, out of many, one. That is the concept of America. It doesn't matter where you come from, where your family came from, or otherwise. If you want to be here legally, okay, if you want to be here, you're allowed to be here. You're allowed to have your own American dream. You're allowed to work hard and earn a life the way you'd like to live.
I'm with him 100%. I want him to beat the GOP.
That's what I'm hearing. Is he made it very clear. He said it's not Democrats and Republicans. It's establishment. Establishment is what he's trying to bring down. What are your thoughts?
Like I said, I'm sick and tired of New Jersey, dirty politics. It's like the mafia, all right? And I want to get rid of the GOP establishment, and Hirsh is the guy to do it.
And it's like any bunch of cockroaches. Turn the lights on, they scatter.
You presented a question. How do you feel? Do you feel he answered it? Did he gain your support?
I felt he answered it a lot better than Rizzo did.
Okay.
In the back, yes ma'am.
I have a question about when they do finally remove the mask mandate. So there were certain states that were open, but stores like CVS, Walgreens still required the mask mandate, and I guarantee you Costco. Okay? What do we do with them? And I don't want to hear, oh, well, if we remove the state mandate, then they have that has no teeth. That's BS. They still have teeth. I need to buy food.
So I feel that a lot of these small businesses have been really killed, much more so than large business. Large business stayed open the entire time, right? They made 30% of the money was extracted out of the middle class, going to the richest elite, and those that were on the lowest, like of the middle class, they've gone into poverty. Okay, our unemployment system was completely broken. Some people are on it, but like a lot of people couldn't even get it, and they just had to fend for themselves, even after paying into it their entire lives. Look, I think that we need to completely unmask everyone. But if they choose to wear a mask, I don't have a problem. If you feel safer, that's fine. But when you talk about large business and telling them that they have to follow or say that they can't have their own policy inside their store, I think that's an advantage. Let that be, and let's go to the places that, the small businesses that reopen that are getting stuff from local farms, local areas, and that's where you shop. I don't think that if their management is so stupid, put up a sign and tell no one go to Costco if that's what they're going to do. Okay? I mean, I'm just of the opinion that the market should move the market, right? Like, you know, what, it's economics. Make them hurt, they'll adjust. If they don't adjust, they will die. Right?
Does he have your vote, at least for now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anything else you'd like to mention on Hirsh or on New Jersey? I mean, the problems that we're having?
That we're allegedly a Democrat state, and I don't believe that anymore, not after these voting machines. I do the Trump car rallies, and the support that we've seen, and they're starting up again, starting this weekend, and we're going to be in Bedminster. The support in the state, I don't believe it's Democrat anymore.
Well, you bring it up. I remember when the former President Trump, when he went through down to Cape May County with his rally, and he had incredible numbers there, just like everywhere else, but he had incredible numbers here in New Jersey.
Yes, he did. Matter of fact, in Wildwood, there were a lot of Democrats there, too. And a lot of people who posted afterwards that they were Democrats. They went there expecting something, expecting to be ridiculed, and they weren't. And they couldn't believe how nice everyone. And I think there's a lot more walkaways. Nobody uses that term anymore, but they're in droves after lovely Joe is in office now. I think there's more people coming over.
Thanks. Any other thoughts?
Well, I'll find out this weekend. We're having a big party down at a farm down in South Jersey after we do our flag wave in Bedminster. And we'll just see how many thumbs up and how many horn beeps we get like we did last year.
Thanks, Toddy.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So, Hirsh, congratulations. It was you had a nice showing, a lot of people here, and they asked you some very serious questions, and you gave very serious answers. So, how do you feel walking off this town hall?
I feel great. I think that this really was a representation of the New Jersey population that care about the future of our state. And you're right, there are a lot of serious issues that are coming up, but you know, we have studied the issues, we know what's going on, and we're basically making sure that they have full confidence in the fact that we can get the state to go in the right direction. And I think that this is a beautiful opportunity because you have this from the top to the bottom, the State House, the Assembly, the State Senate, and the Governor's Mansion all up for election this year. If the people come out, we're going to have a beautiful year, and New Jersey will go fully Republican.
So the thing, I've followed a lot of this before. The thing I found interesting and different about your campaign, and at least your message, is it wasn't divisive. It was divisive. It was very come together because you talk about America first. You said very clearly it's not Democrat versus Republicans. You said you want to go after the establishment. You want to go after that. So, and you even talked about all the different demographics, how the Democrats, they seem to grab them at a young age and try to talk about that. And even indoctrination, we're talking about the schools.
You can keep wearing the hat.
I was trying to be classy.
It's all good. It's all good.
I had first a comment and then a question. Like with the thing with the NJEA, I've been in the schools for the last 15 years as a teacher and administrator, and I can absolutely identify with everything you're saying there. A lot of the questions I kind of had about the critical race theory, you already answered the mask mandate, like the vaccine, because I know me personally, I've been cornered in my own school asking why I haven't got it. So I really appreciate the fact that you're going to be working towards that. And actually, the NJEA sent out a poll to all its members about 3 weeks ago where they didn't even have you on as a Republican option. It was just Jack or Phil, who you were going to pick. But my question is, and along with the critical race theory, you know how Phil Murphy did the thing for the transgender education starting in kindergarten? What would you do to kind of address that?
See, the sad part of it is that it's already passed. So when the new curriculum begins, it's already there. And your local board of education is the place where you're going to have to really force them to not, make that be the case, right? Because that's where the power really lies. And if you're able to get them to say we're not going to push this curriculum, that's the best way we're going to do it. But what happened was that the Board of Educations kind of got weaponized in California. Once they learned how to do that, they spread it across the rest of the country. And that's what we have going on over here. I think that your local councilman, if you're in a Republican area, you do have the ability to change the way the board is elected. In certain places, they do appointments as opposed to elections. That way you can actually stop the machine aspect of how Democrats really focus on those type of elections, because they know that that's how they weaponize and then get the money to go the direction that they want. That's how they increase your taxes, right? So if you do have a Republican council, maybe you can reconsider the methodology by which your Board of Education actually is put together and how it represents the people. We know that that's how they do it in my town, in Linwood, but Montclair does it too, in the opposite way. So Montclair is the most Democrat part of the state when it comes to the votes got by Hillary Clinton, and they do not allow elections in their Board of Education because they're so extremely to the left. But to your question that you brought up an actual aspect when you said that the NJEA put out a poll where they only put Jack or Phil. The swamp of this state is freaking out, okay? Jack is spending millions of dollars attacking me, and he doesn't have anything to attack me with, so he's just actually increasing my name ID, and everyone's like, who is Hirsh Singh? I'm gonna Google this. So it's fine. And when we win this, it will be a permanent blow to all of them because they want Jack because he's the designated loser, right? Yeah. Chris Christie cut a deal with Phil Murphy that both of them would basically win, right? Christie, what does he want? We all know it. What does Christie want? President. Okay. 2024, he wants to run for president. What is the only selling proposition that he has to the 49 states? What is it?
He was the governor of New Jersey.
He won New Jersey twice, and the second time by over 60% of the vote, and then he was the first one to endorse President Trump, right? He was the first major endorsement for Trump, and then he was not with Trump. He didn't get into the administration. He was not with Trump, and he's saying that's why Trump lost. That's the message he is going to push, okay? No, but listen. There's a reason why everyone who has run statewide since he became governor has lost. It's because he scuttled them. He either made sure the loser candidate won the primary, or if the guy was really good, he would find a way to take him out. He has done that ever since because New Jersey's supposed to be, in their mind, a Democrat state, right? So because of that, he does not want anyone else to win but him. He knows he is the swamp, okay? He made a deal with Democrats to become governor in 2009. In 2013, the person who was his opponent in 2009, they had cut a pretend deal, but Christie doesn't cut deals. He's only about himself, okay? That was when Cory Booker was running for U.S. Senate, right? Cory Booker was running against Lonigan, right? What happened? They turned it into a special election, and they made Cory Booker's election 1 month earlier than the governor's election. And so it was like, okay, Cory Booker's election is Democrat Day. Everyone come out who's a Democrat and vote. And then November election was the day for Chris Christie, and that's why he had over 60% of the vote. And now he goes around telling this story, which is a complete farce. Here's what's crazy. The gentleman who was the campaign manager for Chris Christie was Bill Stepien. Bill Stepien was his campaign manager both times. He was also the guy who ran the super PAC, which made Cory Booker the mayor of Newark. Right? I'm telling you, it's not Democrat versus Republican. It's the people against the machine. Right? And we're here to rage against the machine.
He mentioned Trump many times. He's America First agenda, and is that what you're hearing in there?
Well, that's what I'm all about. I'm a MAGA guy. I support President Trump. I know Hirsh Singh. He supports President Trump, and that's why I stand behind him. Jack Ciattarelli. He's a never Trumper, and he said that Joe Biden won fair and square. He said there was never any voter fraud. I totally disagree, and I stand with Hirsh Singh.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
All right. Hey, thanks for your time.
Very much.
I like it live too, so I was like...
It doesn't even register to me anymore.
Like, share, subscribe.
Oh, I thought he was saying like something else. I'm sorry, it's not fast enough for you?
Yeah. Here, Nick?
Everything kind of says